It's funny! It's funny! I hate you!
Is the audio maxed?
Bro, you're a weird too. Like, it's not funny.
She looks like my...
You are rushing me to the point of what I got sick. You
Bro, those beeps are way louder.
So.
I hate you. You're a loser. You're a loser!
Holy shit, somebody do an exorcism on this woman.
Poor dude.
I know.
You know that wasn't the first time that's happened also, based off of his
No
reaction.
way.
Absolutely. He
Wait,
was-
who said something about
he's
the
used to it.
exorcism? What did you say?
Oh, I just said she sounds like she needs an exorcism.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
she needs an exorcism.
Yeah.
She needs
wow.
Yes.
The
So-
emphasis on the loser was crazy.
And that is a
It's like a
broken
demon
man
from
right
within.
there.
Yeah, so
He doesn't
to be
deserve
with her.
that.
he chose to be with
So
her.
it's his fault in a way.
Well, yeah, you know, like women who get... They choose to be with the abuser.
They choose to.
But sometimes
It's called beaten
I
white syndrome.
agree to your point. Sometimes a woman feels too weak to leave because the abuser made her feel that way.
Yeah.
Wait,
like
so
entrapped.
And beauty-
when a man's being abused, it's the man's fault, and when a woman's being abused, it's also
Did
the
not
man's
say
fault?
no. Did not say it like that.
If anyone's
Here,
being
I'll
abused, it's
explain
not
more.
their fault. Unless
Um,
they stay and they keep having it repeatedly happen to them, then they should know
well,
to get out of
sometimes,
that
okay,
situation.
sometimes if a woman, okay, that situation, I'll react to that first. Obviously, the girl is not right to do that, right?
No one's right.
So
to do that.
no, nobody should ever do that. Period. But we don't know the context. We also don't know their history. I can say that he is kind of used to seeing that. Now maybe he loves her enough that he thinks he can fix her in a way. Then maybe he chooses to be with that she provides something else for him.
Why isn't there just an immediate like disavowing of her dog shit behavior? Instead of,
totally
hold
do.
on,
I think
let me
it's
finish my
horrible.
point. Let me finish my point. Your immediate jump was to how can we shift some of the blame onto the man instead of just an immediate disavowment of she's an abusive person, he should leave her.
Yeah.
Like here's
well,
how she's
that's
bad.
a given. That's a given. That's
Well,
a
you know.
given.
Okay.
I do have that reaction.
I'm not sure
right
if we
away.
would jump to, you would make those same, if it was a man abusing a woman, if you would jump to immediately just saying, here's how the man's kind of fucking up.
I agree with that. I think, sometimes a woman and a man, right? If it's a relationship where the woman, most cases could be a bit weaker than a man. It depends on the context.
They're having a verbal...
I don't
like-
think a woman should ever speak to a man like that. And I don't think
Yeah,
a
I
man
don't
should
think
ever speak
so.
to a woman like that.
I
I
don't
don't think
think
you
so
should
ever.
ever
No
put
one should
yourself
ever,
in
yeah.
that kind of position where you're being verbally abused
Yeah.
like that. You should never put yourself.
Yeah, so
no
he
one
has a
ever
choice to
deserves
just
that.
completely just not be with her.
It's also she's doing that to him.
Yeah.
He's sitting
But
there.
he can just
she's
walk
screaming
away.
at him in the middle of an airport.
I
And
know,
as
it's
you can
completely wrong.
tell by his demeanor in the video that this is not like a first time thing. This has happened often. Just because of his lack of a reaction is a reaction in itself. And seeing how he is just completely numb to the way that she's screaming and in full terror mode just kind of shows that this is probably something that happens.
He looks like he's
Axa
dissociated.
Bullet donated $200. Green, if your high-quality husband knew your body count early on, would he still be with you today? If so, why omit your past sins from someone you respect and love?
It never came up. It just never came up. And like I said, I think he had an idea, but I do not think he would have broken up with me if he had known early on.
All right, AXO Bullet, thank you for the TTS. What I do find interesting about this clip is that I'm pretty sure if it was the reverse, if it was a dude
It'd be
freaking out on a woman like that, like the actual people in that clip in the airport hearing it in earshot, there would be men and women trying to intervene on behalf of that woman, but there's nobody.
Yeah.
And she's even attacking other people. And
Yeah,
saying,
didn't
you're
somebody
abusing
try to
and stuff.
intervene? And that's why she looked back towards the camera and said
But-
you're a bitch too.
But
Shut the
imagine
fuck
if
up.
it was a man screaming at a woman. You know that there'd be other women there screaming at the man, saying, "Don't do this, get away from
And
her."
the
They'd be
security.
defending her. I feel like
There'd
that
be men
should-
too. There'd be men
Yeah.
too.
There'd be men,
Yeah,
there'd be
they'll
everyone.
call
But
security
since it's a
anyway.
man being screamed at because men are supposed to be more masculine, stronger than
it's just
women,
Which is not
society, how
okay
it's-
still.
which is not okay.
I
It's
have
not
seen-
okay, but it's just the reality we live
You guys
in.
are
Women,
like
I
kind of
always
realize,
Yeah.
like what's the word? You guys are just making it normal. That's
No,
not
no, no,
normal.
no, no.
to scream
I'm
at
not
people
making
like
no,
that.
not at all, not at all.
That's what
I'm
it
just
kinda sounds
saying
like.
no. I totally
And that a man
disagree
is
with
just
all of
taking
that.
that?
I'm just saying we should look into the context of things. I never see things black and white. You
Well,
know?
yeah, because they're not. There's always nuance.
So of course it's going to be a reality that if a man screams at a woman, everybody probably is going to defend just because the reality we live in, women are sometimes perceived weaker in
Yeah.
a
Well,
relationship
it's-
as men. But I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying it's reality.
But it's all about a power imbalance, and obviously in that situation, like the man looked like he was dissociating.
so
and I
Mike,
mean,
so let's
that
say
is
the
like
woman
not
was
okay.
disassociating.
Yeah, which is not okay. Like neither of those situations are okay.
What is the power imbalance?
Well, it's like the abuser versus the abused. Like the abused usually feels trapped and like kind of weaker,
Yeah.
regardless of gender.
Can be from both sides,
Yeah.
exactly. But my question would be, why does he feel like he has to take that? Why does he put himself in this situation?
Because when people are trapped,
Yeah.
they are just trapped. Because it's the same with women.
No, I
Why?
agree with you.
But it's like, but it's not about. The whole point of asking someone who's staying in an abusive relationship, why are you staying? Like that's overall a ridiculous question because they are trapped.
You
Sometimes,
can leave. It's I've never
but it's not
personally-
everybody.
It's
Yeah.
not,
is
but
that
also
strong.
it's just, I feel, I've never been in this kind of situation.
Exactly.
But
That's why it's easier
I'm
for you
allowed
to-
to have my own opinion.
Yeah,
I'm just
no, you
saying,
are.
Because I feel like, from what I've heard from some of my friends, they're trapped because they feel trapped because they feel like they don't deserve more than what they're getting. You don't deserve to be screamed at. You don't deserve to be abused. You don't deserve to be any of that. You deserve to have someone who loves you and who wants to treat you like that.
And
In abusive relationships, what happens is the person is broken down to a point that they believe this is what they deserve. This is the only person who's going to love them, and they
it's
are
the
broken
best
down.
that they can
and
get.
unfortunately, our societal norm has become that men don't want to fight back. Like I watched a video of a guy in an Uber. He was being choked by a woman from behind, and instead of fighting back, he holds his hands up and is like, "I'm not going to touch her. I'm not going to touch her."
Or he's afraid
Because
to touch
he's
her.
like, if I touch her, I'm going to go to jail, and that's not
Yeah.
okay.
It's not
That's
okay.
no, that's not okay.
And we as a society have now put that on men that they can't fight back, and they should absolutely 100% be able to fight.
They
back.
should defend themselves.
defend themselves.
yeah, but
Yeah.
then
And there's a way to defend yourself without like bullface ass just punching a woman in the face.
Obviously.
There's a way to defend yourself in the means of if somebody's choking you, you have every right and then some to restrict them from being able to do so, whether that mean physically pulling them off of you or physically putting their hands behind their back,
And I
restraining them in some type of way. But when it comes to abuse in general, there's a thing called beaten wife syndrome. This is a real thing, and it's like how she was saying. There's like you're in a relationship where you're not only being controlled, but you're also being diminished, and your feelings and everything like that. It's usually from a narcissistic personality that has those types of abusive natures. And as somebody that has been in an abusive relationship in the past, multiple different kinds actually, I was in a very dark place, and I was allowing people to treat me at a lower standard than what I would normally do. And those things, like, they purposefully make you feel as if you're singled out and don't have
Ulysses the
anyone.
Pagan donated $200. Everything Red said next to Brain explaining the guy's motives in the video for allowing the abuse. If you would have switched out her words with woman, you would have been cancelled. You reverse bigot.
I agree. Yes, that's true.
I think he's talking to you.
I know. I agree with him. I think people are misunderstanding what
Thank
I'm
you, the
saying.
pagan. Appreciate it.